Hi, I'm Jeff Cobb with Leading Learning, and I want to welcome you to this session, which is part of the Learning Business Summit and will be a demo of MapleLMS. The session will be led by Matt Peterson and Avin Tiwari. They will share with you for around 30 to 35 minutes, then we'll pause for questions before we wrap up. And we invite you to submit questions at any point as we go along. To do that, please use the Q&A panel. And with that, over to you, Matt and Avin.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you everyone for joining us. Welcome everyone. This is for the Maple LMS demo, and my name's Matt. I am a relationship director at Maple LMS, and today me and my colleague Avin will be presenting the Maple LMS platform. Thank you to Leading Learning and inviting us to be part of the Learning Business Summit. During our demo, we want to maximize the time in our platform, and I'm just going to provide a brief introduction to Maple LMS. Maple LMS is a SaaS-based learning experience and certification assessment platform. It's a highly secure cloud-based white-labeled LMS. We are SOC Type 2 and ISO 9001 and 27001 certified, which means all your data is safe with us. We are also a winner of the top 20 LMSs as recognized by Talented Learning. Maple LMS can really scale to fit in different sizes of professional organizations, ranging from nonprofits, corporations, to member benefit associations, also trade associations, learning businesses, and a whole lot more. And Maple LMS can be accessed on any web browser and any device. Maple LMS is driven by AI-powered technology to promote continuing education and learning paths and recommending courses to your learners. It supports continuing education through the course content and can issue continuing education credits, badges, certificates, and certifications. It's highly customizable and configurable to an organization's needs and use cases. And we also have offline iOS and Android apps available for offline learning. And it's completely accessible to all learners. And Maple LMS will help you generate revenues through our powerful e-commerce and microsite features. Maple LMS will also help to save costs and time for staff and enhance the user experience. We can switch to the next slide. And today we will also want to show you the power of integration. We have a wonderful integration team, and we're a preferred partner with Salesforce CRM, Fontiva AMS, and ProTech AMS. We're also listed on the Salesforce App Exchange and the #1 rated LMS there. Maple LMS has open APIs that can be integrated with any system of records, such as a CRM, an HRIS, or an AMS, creating a very unified experience for your users, which can also help reduce redundancies and errors and provide powerful reporting synchronization capabilities back into your chosen system of records. The two-way integration features single sign-on capabilities and the ability to view such items as learner transcripts, certifications, progress reports, directly in your membership portal or CRM. You also have the flexibility in using our storefront within your membership portal or create a public-facing website to sell your courses, or you can use Maple LMS inbuilt e-commerce features. We also offer great certification assessment tools that feature a question bank, a face match authentication, a lockdown browser, and AI proctoring tools for high-stakes exams like certifications. Next, I wanted to cover some of the key differentiators for Maple LMS. So Maple LMS really gives you all the tools you need to create engaging interactive content for your learners and provide a 360-degree experience for your learners and world-class training and a professional development program. Our implementation and integration team works very closely with you to provide a custom configured solution during the onboarding to ensure you have the look and feel that you want from your platform, as well as the functionality of your workflows covered for your desired integrations. We have out-of-the-box integrations for Salesforce, Zoom, GoToMeeting, and Microsoft Teams to do your webinars or live virtual training. And our team sets up a testing or a staging environment so all your functionality can be tested before going live to your learners. MapleLMS and our support for our goal for learning for all, we support over 50 different languages, and we offer great tools for those with hearing, sight, or learning disabilities. And we also offer Android and iOS apps for on the go or offline learning, and the solution is fully mobile responsive. Our great support team offers unlimited virtual training for your staff to ensure you feel comfortable using all the administrative content creation tools and really set you up for success in supporting your employees or members in using the LMS. Maple LMS comes complete with unlimited secure cloud storage, 24 by 7 support, is offered, and we provide you our upgrades free of charge as our development team continues to add exciting features. So let's go ahead and move ahead. Today, we're going to be presenting MapleLMS's learner journey and experience and out-of-the-box integration of MapleLMS with an association management system. We're going to go through a user journey covering e-commerce, two-way data synchronization, single sign-on, and what a learner experience can look like and how MapleLMS writes back to your system of records. We will then switch to our administrative and content creation tools and finish up with our powerful analytics and reporting features. So it's my pleasure to introduce my colleague Avin, who's going to walk us through the demo. Avin, so great to have you with us, and I'll turn it over to you to kick off the demo.
Thank you, Matt. And very good morning to our audience today at the Learning Summit. So today I'll be walking you through some of the core solutions MapleLMS provides. And these are to support organizations like yours to streamline learning, drive engagement, and also ensure compliance. Starting with an example around AMS integration or integration with an association management system. And there are mainly three primary benefits to this integration, which include single sign-on access, e-commerce, and learning data synchronization. Now, to demonstrate this, I'm logged into a member portal as a member on this site right now. This is one of our customers' staging environment or a sandbox site that we're using for this demo. And once we log in, we'll see options to navigate into the LMS via SSO, so that's single sign-on. And that option's really over here that says EMEA Education Center. Or we can purchase a course from Storefront where courses could be listed and different offerings could be listed. So let's buy a course from here and maybe through an online payment method and proceed with the checkout. So from the store, I've already selected a product over here and already added this to my cart for a checkout. I'm going to quickly check out from here and go to the payment page where we can make a transaction. And once the transaction gets completed, we should be able to access content that we are purchasing or the training that we have purchased right into a learning account. So now here we are at this page where we can add our card details. I'm going to add a dummy card for this demonstration and make a transaction. So let's take a moment, add our details over here, and process payment. Now, as this payment gets processed, there's also an enrollment API that gets triggered on the backend and enrolls this participant into the course or training that they purchased from your storefront. So you have that mapping with your e-commerce storefront and allows you to sell courses and educational content through this integration. But with that, we've made a transaction. We can now go to our profile and we can navigate into the LMS to the learning site or the account of the user. And for that, I'm just coming back to this profile page. And from here, I'm going to go to the Education Center. Now, when I click on the Education Center, it can open up a new tab or log me into the LMS within the same tab. So both options would be supported. And with that, we are logged into the learning platform. And from here, we have instant access to the learning content that we purchased or the learning content that's available for us. Now, that was a fairly simple example of an SSO and e-commerce where the user goes through a journey. They go through your member portal, purchase a product, get access to the LMS, and make a single sign-on access, log into the system, and can access the content that they've purchased. And they also have options to track some of these purchases. So this is a course that I just purchased, which we can access right away and get access to the learning materials instantly. So with that, I'll also move into the third primary benefit of this integration, which is data synchronization. And the data synchronization with your association management system allows MapleLMS to write back the learning progress of your learners to their records in your AMS. So just to demonstrate this, I'm going to go to this account over here, log in as an administrator. And we'll look at this from an admin's view. So maybe an administrator or a manager, and how you can track some data into your association management system. For instance, here we are into an admin's view of the AMS, and we are looking at a member's contact record. And the member record shows a list of courses this member is enrolled in, along with the course progress, completion status, creation date, enrollment dates. And we could also track certificates that the member has earned along with the learning credits that they've achieved, the credits that they've earned. So that's really data synchronization. And this would still be a fairly simple example of some standard data points that we synchronize with an association management system. But quite a few data points can be synchronized as well. So maybe certification scores or any badges achieved by the participant. Now, that really concludes the three primary features that you get through this integration. And from here, let's dive into the LMS and look at some learning experience, look at the learning formats, and some relevant items. So now here, I'm logged into one of our demo sites as a learner. And before we proceed, I quickly wanted to address about the user interface as well. So MapleLMS is a white label solution, and it could support all your branding needs, including colors, logos, fonts, font colors. And if you have a multilingual audience or audience in different regions, different countries, it could support multiple languages for you. Now, the languages, in terms of languages, as Matt mentioned earlier, we do support more than 50 plus languages, so a variety of languages could be implemented on the site. And there are some robust accessibility tools as well that could be provided on the platform. For example, over here is a small button for accessibility. And this allows me to invert colors, maybe change color adjustments, and also increase and decrease the text size. But some more accessibility options would be around adding or including a caption file with the videos as well, and text to speech would be supported as well. Now from here, there's also a recommendation engine that MapleLMS supports that provides personalized recommendations based on the learner's interest, preference, or even profile data. And these recommendations come automatically. So there are different ways on how system can recommend. Profile interest would be one way on how recommendations could be provided. Now going back, we'll take a look at some of the learning formats through these course examples that I have on my screen. These are some sample courses that we built out for demonstration. And let's first begin with an example of an online course that follows a self-paced learning format. It includes a interactive lesson, a couple of interactive lessons, so maybe an interactive video along with a SCORM package. And in terms of SCORM, we do support SCORM 1.2 and above, so SCORM files are well supported with MapleLMS. Now, also a couple of assessment modules are available. So you have options to add quizzes or create exams within a course, and also include evaluations or questionnaires for feedback and survey capabilities. Now, along with that, this course also offers an option to claim credits and earn a certificate of completion, along with some gamification item equipped on the right-hand side, which is known as a leaderboard. We'll go through some of these examples quickly so we can see what these content formats could look like. I'm going to start with this example around a interactive video. And this is something you can build using the tools that we have within the system. So what you need is a video file or maybe a video link that's available publicly. You can import that video into MapleLMS and then layer knowledge checks or interactions on top of it at different timestamps. So just as a demonstration, as we are playing this video, we'll reach a timestamp where this video would automatically pause and an interaction would appear on top of my screen, such as this. So maybe a multiple select question type or a true false question type could be easily added. And for a right and wrong answer, it supports branching as well. For a wrong answer, we can send the participant back into the video. So they watch previous section again, come back to this interaction, and hopefully go with the right answer choice. Now, quickly proceeding further, here's an example of a scoring package added to this course, and this is what it could look like. And there are different tools that our customers use to create scoring packages. So some content builders and authoring tools that will allow you to build content and upload it within MapleLMS as a content file. Also, let's move on to this item over here, which is around assessment. So within this course, now we are taking an assessment, a short quiz. And in this example, I just have 3-question quiz with some time limit capability enabled. But overall, this module supports 16 different question types with the ability to automatically randomize questions and also provide feedback for the right and wrong answer choices. So as you finish the test and submit the responses, it will take us to a feedback page where we can see our score and get a feedback for right and wrong answer choices. With that, I'll move into a quick survey or an evaluation added to this course, and this could be a mandatory item as well. So maybe before you unlock a certificate of completion, you may have to fill out a survey, or maybe before claiming any credits, you may have to fill out a survey or an evaluation. So such kind of restrictions are also supported, and in most cases, our customers use this evaluation before a course gets completed, but can be used flexibly at different stages into a learning course. So I'm going to submit this questionnaire, this short survey, and then move on to the next module, which is around claiming credits. Now, credits and contact hours are well supported in MapleLMS. You can configure your preferred credit types. And when we are setting up a course, we have options to add specific credits and credit values that an individual can earn. And you may allow individuals to claim one or multiple credit types for a single course. And it's a configurable item, so it could be offering just one credit type, or it could be offering multiple credit types with the flexibility to choose what credit types you have to claim. So I'm going to claim to CME over here, and then we'll move on to a certificate. Look at an example of that. And with this, we are reaching the final point of this online learning course, which offers a certificate of completion. Now, certificates in MapleLMS could be customized, so you can add your own designs, and this module supports HTML and CSS, so high level of customization would be feasible. It automatically pulls the participants' information as well, so name of the course and name of the certificate as well, and the date when certificate was originally issued. And once you have achieved a certificate, you have an option to share that over your LinkedIn profile as well. So with that, I've just navigated to LinkedIn and allows me to post this certificate as a certification and certification or an achievement. Now, from here, I'll walk you through a few more formats. And just wanted to mention that MapleLMS would support blended learning. It does support virtual training as well, webinars as well, and in most cases, in-person training as well. So some of our customers would create training courses for an in-person event or maybe an in-person training session. And I'll show you a few examples over here. So let's start with this webinar. So this is a webinar that's built out in MapleLMS. Includes a webinar link or a webinar activity, a dedicated module for webinar that participants can join from, and also a post-webinar feedback survey. Now, this could also offer certificates, credits, and badges upon completion of a webinar, so that's fully flexible. And on top of it, uh, there are tools to create even packages or learning paths. So here's a quick example of a learning path and what this could look like. And a learning path would just be collection of multiple courses or a series of courses combined in a sequential or a non-sequential pattern, or even built out as a course bundle. So these were a few formats and a few different examples that I wanted to walk you through. Clearly, there's a lot more that we support. But these are some formats that we see a lot. So self-paced learning, webinars, live virtual trainings, and learning paths. And just a comment about live virtual trainings. So these webinars and live virtual trainings in MapleLMS work with a integration with your preferred web conferencing platform. So that could be Zoom, that could be Teams, or a different application such as GoToWebinar as well. So now I'll quickly go to the profile of this user and walk you through some items over here. And each user gets a profile. Profile has a section to track your achievements. So as a user, I can look at all the achievements that I have, including badges that I've earned. It indicates if a badge is expired. On the right, I can track all the credits that I've achieved. And on the bottom, I have a list of certificates that I've achieved as well. Now, individuals do have an option to export their transcripts as well. So we do allow that option to download your user data and basically generate 3 reports containing courses that you've completed, credits that you've earned, and certificates that you have earned. From here, I'm going to navigate into an admin's view, and we'll look at some more capabilities from an admin's perspective, starting with one of our core capability, which is around microsites or multi-tenancy. So MapleLMS will fully support multi-tenancy, which allows you to build individual learning portals for separate audiences. These are known as microsites. And the beauty of microsites is that they could segregate users, segregate content, and offer a personalized portal for an exclusive audience. Now, to demonstrate this, I'll switch between a few microsites, and you'll see the look and feel of our site changing with each microsite. So let's start with a few. For instance, let's take this site as an example. And as we select that, we'll switch into a different branding, different look and feel. This is built out for a separate audience. And maybe just one more example. So we can see more branding capabilities. And as an administrator, you control pretty much all of it. You can create unlimited learning portals, assign managers with limited permissions, and also further create grouping within those microsites of this audience. So that was really a quick example around microsite. And just to mention some use cases, we see several use cases for a microsite depending on organization to organization. Some of the most common would be setting up a microsite maybe for a corporate client, maybe for chapters, affiliates, or even for business to business training. Now with this, I'm going to dive into an example of some AI capabilities. And let's take a look at some of the AI capabilities through a course. And over here, what I have is a course. And the capability we're going to look at is around generating content. But we do support options or we do support capabilities to generate quiz questions through AI, as well as recommending courses to participants through AI. But this capability would particularly be around generating some content. So in this example, I'll generate a summary for a section inside this course. And all we have to do is write a prompt. It will generate a summary within seconds. So let's go with that. I'm going to go to Edit. And when I come to the summary section, I'll see a button over here where I can add a prompt. So let's just say write a summary about maybe CME course. And with that, let's hit generate content. So once we do that, we'll see a couple of drafts created over here. We can read this out and select the one that looks perfect. So let's take this one and add to editor. And with that, we have our content added to the editor. Then you have some more options. So you can change maybe the size of this text or the style of this text, and maybe include some multimedia as well. And once I simply save, it takes me back to the course. And with that, we have our brief summary added to this course into this section. And that was just one of the capabilities around AI. With our roadmap in 2025, there are quite a few developments coming around AI, including a question generator, which is already in place, which allows you to generate questions for a test or for a quiz. From here, I'll walk you through some of the reporting capabilities in MapleLMS from an admin's view. So MapleLMS will come with approximately 50 or 50 plus pre-configured reports to track several data points and several engagement data points as well. These reports include a report dashboard for administrators, an admin-specific dashboard, attendance tracking, credit tracking, and time tracking as well. So quickly, let's look at some examples. Now, this over here would be a dashboard for administrators with some pre-configured items. So tracking active users or course progress, that's all feasible from here. You'll see download options at different levels. So downloading into a CSV, Excel, or PDF would be supported. And then options to schedule an email report as well. Now, if you do offer live virtual trainings or webinars, then there's a attendance report that's included within MapleLMS, which gives you insights around the sessions that you've conducted. And the data includes list of participants, the training that they took, name of the course where the training was scheduled, attendance status with the percentage of attendance recorded, and also check-in time, check-out time, overall duration spent by this participant on this session, and some filters to filter out this data and options to export. There's also a report that tracks credits. So this report, known as Credit Activity Report, shows us a list of participants who've achieved a particular credit type for completing a course. If the credit was issued, the credit value, the date and time when the course was completed, and the certificate of completion which was awarded along with it. And lastly, a quick report around time spent. So this report tracks or shows the time that individuals are spending on your site, not just on your site, on your courses, also the time they've spent on a video or even an assessment into a course. So you get these detailed tracking. And there are pre-configured reports that I mentioned, which can be easily accessed from this section on the left, including some financial reports as well, attendance report, and some course-wide report, such as a quiz report or a survey report. Lastly, one item that I wanted to go through would be around email templates and notifications. So reminders and notifications in MapleLMS are all automatic. They go out at the right time and trigger according to conditions. So There are notifications for enrollment, completions. There are reminders for activities that go out automatically, and about 50 plus notifications are pre-configured. So you don't really have to send out a notification manually. However, you do have an option to pick a set of users and send out a manual notification from within the system. Uh, but with that, I'll conclude this short demonstration today and quickly switch back to one of our slides and hand it over to you, Matt.
Great. Thank you, Avin. Appreciate that. Keep the questions coming. You're asking so many great questions here. We sincerely appreciate it. Avin, if you don't mind switching to the next slide, just
Mhm.
wanted to briefly mention about our great support and technology features that MapleLMS provides to our client. So your MapleLMS comes complete with an inbuilt support portal to manage any support issues that you or your learners are having. And our system allows you to easily escalate any of these issues to the MapleLMS support team. MapleLMS also comes with unlimited virtual training for your administrative and content creation staff. We record this training and upload it to your LMS for future use. In the case where you may be onboarding a new staff member, maybe 6 months down the road, we're happy to conduct additional training as needed, or maybe you just need some help with some course settings. Our training team is always here to help support you. Our system also is loaded with documents, guides, and frequently asked questions and videos to orient admins and users to your new LMS. And any upgrades to our software are included in your annual licensing fees, and our development team is consistently working on updates based on our clients' feedback. The system is very intuitive and very easy to use by non-technical individuals. So also want to mention as a special offer today, we'd like to give you an opportunity to experience MapleLMS for yourself with an exclusive free trial. You can go to our website now and sign up for a free trial. And if you'd also like to talk to us further about how MapleLMS could be an asset to your organization, employees, and members, we'd love to hear from you. So please don't hesitate to reach out at the email or phone number. And thank you for allowing us to present today. I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff for any additional questions we want to answer live and keep them coming.
Yeah, definitely. So, folks, if you got other questions, get them in here for Matt and Avin. It is Q&A time. I do want to start things off, Matt and Avin, asking a few questions that align with the overarching themes of leading learning and also of the Learning Business Summit, and that's reach, revenue, and impact. Folks hear us talk about that all the time, and we really want to know that technology supports those goals, those themes. So let's go through each one of those. Could you talk briefly about how MapleLMS helps organizations reach more of the right learners, that sort of reach aspect?
Sure, Jeff. Thank you. Yeah, we provide a number of tools to do that. One could be a public-facing web page to advertise all of your educational products, and that could be search engine optimized to ensure that the larger public audience can find your educational experiences. You can also use our inbuilt tools like course catalogs, tags, filters. We also have a great, powerful global search feature, and as well as course recommendations. Another unique feature about MapleLMS, we're one of the few LMSs that support a competency-based education framework. So a learner could take assessments to identify any competency gaps they have. And then based on any of those competency gaps, a learner could create a very curated individual learning plan that'll ensure that an individual will be given the exact educational experiences that they require based on any competencies to make them successful. And finally, I do also want to mention the automatic email notifications can
Mm.
ensure the right learners receive communications about new relevant educational experiences or specific course recommendations based on the learner.
You've mentioned the recommendation engine a number of times. I know you talked about it earlier in the demo. I want to get to revenue and impact, but it's sort of sticking with reach, and this is really, I guess, leading towards revenue. Can you talk more about your recommendation engine? Someone asked earlier, how you configure the interest that users might get recommendations from. Is AI factoring into that now, or as you go forward? How powerful, how sophisticated is that recommendation engine now, and how is it going to become?
Sure, that's a great question, Jeff. Thanks. Recommendations can work in a couple ways. Within an individual learner's profile, they can identify any particular interests that they have. And based on any tags that you set up within your course, and when those match with the learner's profile, it's going to show up as a recommended course in the LMS. I also just spoke briefly about our competency-based education. And this works a little bit based on AI and the competency framework that you set up. So once an individual has identified any competency gaps, and usually they take a series of assessments to identify them, then the system is going to use AI technology to recommend courses to that individual so that they can fulfill any competency gaps that they have.
Great, great. All of that does obviously point towards being able to generate more revenue with, the customers that you already have, which is always the best place to start with generating more revenue. Can you talk a little bit more about how Maple LMS helps organizations achieve their revenue goals?
Sure, absolutely. And I'll start off with talking about e-commerce tools. And I know there was a lot of questions in the chat about our e-commerce tools. So Maple LMS has inbuilt e-commerce tools that you can use to sell your products. The other option, if you have a storefront and e-commerce built upon your AMS or a CRM, through the two-way integration, you can choose to use those tools. So there's two options there of ways to go. But in either case, educational products can be sold as individual courses, learning packages or bundles, or a learning path, such as a path to certification, or as an annual subscription, or you could do a combination of these methods.
Hmm.
So we could see great success with the annual subscription method, but also maybe pricing some premium individual courses like those that are offering CE or certification, and you can price those separately with still having the subscription model giving access to most of your courses. I also want to mention our powerful microsite can be a great revenue generator. It offers great value and it can be used for affiliates, partners, chapters, member organizations, or a customer organization. These individual microsites or learning portals can be branded for the individual customer, and it'll also give that customer the tools to create their own users and educational experiences. They can assign, deliver, and track training of their employees. So the microsite can offer great value to organizations, and as a result, we see our clients are able to offer this at a greater cost. The e-commerce tools, they offer limited time offers, discount codes, bulk purchases, and all this can also assist in driving revenue. Um, we always encourage our customers to use automatic email notifications that can be sent by Maple LMS to your learners to recommend courses, maybe welcome back learners if they haven't been active in the system, or perhaps communicate about new offerings and so much more. So using the automatic email notifications is another great tool.
Great. Well, I know we've got some other questions coming in that I want to make sure we have a chance to answer, but I do want to also ask you this last one about, how you support organizations in showing impact, how you're able to measure that and demonstrate that, hey, that learning is actually moving the dial out there.
Yeah, another great question, Jeff. Thank you. Our analytics and reporting tools in Maple LMS can assist an organization in measuring learner outcomes, also the engagement they have, preferences that they may have. And all this gives you actionable insights on learners' behaviors. And tracking learning progress and completion rates will give you insight where learners are heavily engaged and others where they may be struggling. And merging learning data with employee performance data can also show learning impact. So if you're getting data on performance, perhaps from a performance management system, this could be integrated to track any of the key performance indicators. And then finally, assessments and performance data can show how employees' knowledge and performance is tied to learning content and how it may be improving productivity, sales, or perhaps customer satisfaction. And the pre and post assessments can also be powerful tools. So having a learner take a pre-assessment before they start a course or a series of courses, and then also taking a post-assessment to see how their progress came about.
Great. Thanks so much. We've got a number of questions here. I want to make sure we try to get through before we have to wrap up. So I'll go ahead and ask you the first of those. Lauren asks, do you have the ability to randomize a large selection of questions for certification assessments?
Yeah, absolutely. This can be used in conjunction with our question bank. So the system will allow you to upload questions in bulk to a question bank. Those can be further categorized, and then by default, our assessment tool randomizes questions. So you might have a question bank of 50 questions, and for your assessment, you want to randomly choose 20 questions for the learner, and the system will automate that process for you.
Great. And then we have a question. Get back to the Q&A panel here. Can the competency gaps tool be used within a course so that learners can focus on modules where the gaps are identified? So.
Yeah, the whole competency-based education system in Maple LMS is really system-wide. But when you've identified specific competency gaps of a learner, it could recommend courses, or it could recommend specific modules in a course to fulfill those competency gaps.
Okay. And we do have a question about event system integration, but I want to stick with the sort of assessment tools because we've got somebody Kristen in the chat asking, can you speak some more about the quiz reports that Avin mentioned? We use quiz reports in our current LMS to review frequently missed questions or those that are maybe too simple, evaluate the breakdown of question categories, how many questions we have in each category to ensure the exam is balanced in content, and more. Is it safe to assume this type of information is available in your quiz reports as well?
Absolutely. The quiz reports are very, very robust. Most commonly, our clients will use it to identify your top performing questions or your lowest performing questions, giving you insight um, as to how the question's performing and if you might need to look at the actual question, or maybe you also need to look at the education you're providing to that. But there's many, many statistics and analytics provided on an individual quiz.
Great. And this question about can MapleLMS be integrated with other event registration systems? I'm assuming, the systems that might be used for a conference, for a live face-to-face. Have you integrated with those types of systems?
Yeah, we do. We integrate with event management systems. So the most common use case for that would be that if an individual registered for a conference, you may be offering pre or post-conference resources in the LMS. So maybe you want them to watch an introductory video before they go to the conference. And then after they've attended a conference, maybe you want to give them a survey. Maybe you want to um, allow them to earn a certificate or claim CE credits. So all that's supported in Maple LMS.
Great. Thank you. I'll make one last call. If anybody has a last minute question they want to get in, we will address that. but not seeing any. I'll bring us to a formal close. We are at the end of this session. So Matt and Avin, thank you for giving us a sense of Maple LMS, and thanks to everyone for attending.